Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about WebSocket and how it is different from the HTTP protocol. And also I will explain, or maybe I will create one program so that I can demonstrate that how we can use this WebSocket into our program using Spring Boot 3. And also I'll show you trying to create one simple applications, like to create the API, and then based on the API we'll send some messages, and accordingly we'll from the server we'll get some responses. So HTTP and the WebSocket both are basically communication protocol used in client server communication. So before going to the detail of WebSocket, we just need to understand that what is HTTP protocol. So let me show you some structure of it, like how basically HTTP works. So in the uh, here basically in this image basically you can see, so there is a two communications over here. One is a client and the server. So HTTP is a unidirectional, whereas where basically client send the request to the server and server back the response to the client. So let's, if we take one example, when a user send a request to the server, this request goes in the form of either HTTP or HTTPS. After receiving a request, server send the response back to the client, right? As you can see over here, it's sending the request and then it will back to the response. Each request is associated with a corresponding response, and after sending the response to the client, the connections got terminated, or you can say connection got closed. Each HTTP or HTTPS request establishes the new connections to the server every time, and after getting the response, the connection gets terminated by itself. HTTP is a stateless protocol that runs on top of the TCPs. Okay. So this is overall the things that how the HTTP connection basically works. Like it's sending the request and then server send the response back to the client and the connection got terminated. Means for each and every request, it's a new connection got created, and after means all the process is done, like after getting the response, it's again closed by itself, right? Whereas how the WebSocket is basically worked. So if we talked about the WebSocket, then let's talk about this diagram. So it's a little different from the like HTTP. So WebSocket is a bidirectional, means it's a full duplex protocol that is basically used in same scenarios of client server communications. Unlike HTTP, it's basically starts with ws:/, or in case of the like HTTPS, as we are using HTTPS, so in this case it is WSS/ okay. It is a stateful, as we can I explained, like HTTP is a stateless and it is a WebSocket is a stateful protocol, which means the connection between the client and server will keep alive until it is terminated by any of them, like either client or maybe server. After closing the connection by either of the client and server, the connection is terminated from the both ends. If we take one example of client server communications, there is the client basically, which is maybe web browser and a server. Wherever we initiate the connection between the client and the client server made the, first of all, it's a handshaking. So as you can see, the connection established, then the handshaking is going on, right? So once once the handshaking is done, then they are decided to create a new connection, and this connection will keep alive until it is terminated by any of them. So this is called the WebSocket, and this is like there they can exchange the details, like exchange the message and other things also they can exchange over here. Okay. So WebSocket is a communication protocol that provides full duplex communication channel over a single and long-lived connection. So here, once the connection is established, then they are not getting closed until it's closed or by terminated by any of them, either client or server. So that means it will faster, or it will also improve the performance of the application. So that means in WebSocket basically data can be sent and received simultaneously, making it ideal for applications like it will basically improve the performance and of the applications, right? So this WebSocket basically, when we are going to use this WebSocket. So as you can see, I hope this the architecture wise it's clear now, like what is WebSocket and what is HTTP connection. So WebSocket here we are creating the connection only once. It is not about the request and response. It only create once, and then they are actually basically sending the messages and all over there. And once like the connection is terminated by any of them, then actually connection is got disconnected. In case of the HTTP, for each request response they are establish the connection and getting the response. Okay, once the response is received, then they are closing the connection by itself. Okay, next I will talk about that when basically we are going to use this WebSocket. So WebSocket we can use like in real-time applications like maybe it's a real web applications when the WebSocket to show the data as the client and which is continuously being sent by the backend server. In WebSocket, data is continuously pushed or transmitted into the like same connection which is already open. Okay, so that's why WebSocket is very faster and improve the application performance. So if we take some example of this real-time web application like trading website, this is also like frequently there are price fluctuations, right? So then is continuously pushed data by the backend server to the client. So in this scenario, we can use this real-time web applications, the gaming applications actually. So also here, like data is continuously received by the server. Okay, so without refreshing the UI, we can get the effect of it. So here also we can use this one. Third one is the chat applications. So in chat applications also uses the WebSocket to establish the connections. Only one for the exchange and publishing. So this is also one type of example of the WebSocket. So next, what I will do, I will create one Spring Boot's simple applications, and over there, I'll trying to demonstrate that how we are going to configure this WebSocket into our Spring Boot applications and how we are going to access it from the Postman. I will show you the demo, and also we'll write some code, basic code, so that we can to understand the better way WebSocket, like how the WebSocket is basically working. So without further delay, let's like create the project. So for demonstrating this WebSocket programming actually, what we need to basically what step basically we need to follow. So first of all, we need to create one Spring Boot project from initializer, like Spring initializer website we can easily create. So from there you can like choose this one, like what kind of project you need to create. So I have created one Maven based project over here and already imported into my Eclipse editor. So you guys can also use any editor like maybe IntelliJ or Eclipse or maybe Notepad also you can write the code. So it's upon like based what uh, you are expert in it. So based on that you can choose your IDE. Okay, so over here what you can see, like I have used the latest version of this 3.2.5 of this Spring Boot, and then artifact, group ID and all those things. And as a part of the important the thing is the dependency part. So here as you can see I have used this Spring Boot starter WebSocket. So this is the like primary dependencies for using the WebSocket related things. So these dependencies basically I have used over here. And other than this, maybe sometimes what we need the Lombok. So I can add this one also over here, Lombok. Let's see if it is required or not, but I have just added over here. Okay, so this dependency is only used is over here. Okay, so next basically what we are going to do over here, we need to create the configurations. What configurations? We need to create the configurations for WebSocket. So how you are going to create this one? So let me create that. Okay, so first of all we need to create one like class for that. Let's say WebSocket configuration. Okay, WebSocket configuration, or let me create one package for this one. Let me create this one as config. So WebSocket configurations, we are going to create this one. We are going to create this class under this package. Okay, so now basically here we need to annotate this class with configurations and this one, and also we need to enable the WebSocket, right? For enabling the WebSocket, we need to use this annotation, enable WebSocket. Okay, and this particular class for like registering the WebSocket handler and all those, we need to implement. There is a one like interface like this WebSocket configure. So that actually we need to implements WebSocket, this one. Okay, this interface basically we need to implement over here. So once we have implement this one, that means we need to override some existing methods, right? So we need to add this unimplemented method, this one, registered webhook WebSocket handlers, and it is taking one parameter, that is the registry. So in this registry basically we need to add the handler. So here basically we can add our custom handler. Okay, so registry dot add handler. So here we can use some kind of, let's say, post handler. Okay, and here we need to pass this like the URL path. So let's say post. Okay, and then here we can like set some. Okay, let me first create this one, post handler, create this method. Okay, set allow origins. So here for the timing I am keeping as a star so that it will allow. Okay, so this register bin is done now. So what we have done over here, we have created one this post handler, and here we have passed this URL and then allow origin patterns. Okay, so here basically this post handler, here we are going to create one handler, and this particular will be a bin. This will be a, we need to inject or will be create as a bin, and here return new post handler. Okay, post handler. So we need to create this one, we need to create this class. We don't need the record over here, we just need to create the class actually. Okay, class. Okay, where we are going to create this class, let me create class under handler. Okay, okay, so here I have created this post handler, and as you can see, it is basically taking the like implement this WebSocket handler class, interface, and this particular interface having these are the method after connection established. So here basically we can put some messages when the connection is got established. This is the main method actually, which is basically responsible to handle the messages. This is actually message actually coming, means payload, whatever the payload is sending from the WebSocket, the API basically we can say. And this is the handle transport error. If any error occurs, then in this scenario we can put some message over here, and once the connection got terminated or closed by any of them, either server or client, then we can put some message over here. Okay, so these are the methods that we can put some kind of uh, details over here. So I can, for log basically I can use this SLF4J, that is fine. SLF4J. Okay, and here we can like use some kind of log like connection established on session ID. Okay, so I can put some message over here. In handle message basically what we are going to do here, we can maybe let's say it's a string message or a string post. Okay, equals to message dot get payload. Okay, it's an object, so we need to casting over here, right? We need to cast as a string, and then we need to like print this one, log dot info post details. So here basically we can post. Okay, and then we need to send this message based on this session dot send message. This message basically we need to send. How we are going to send? Like new text. So after receiving this one, we need to send some response back to the like in a client. So in this way, basically, we need to send the response back like processing started. Okay, for this session and processing started for session. Okay, and then post. Okay, okay. So in this way, basically, we can send message, and then after certain time, like we can say that like processing completed. Okay, processing completed. Completed. Okay. So maybe here we can put some thread. Uh, maybe we can put some sleep over here so that we can get some delay, maybe 500 millisecond, so that we can get some like delay over there, so that we can understand that it is actually processing. And here in case of the error, basically we can print some like exception occurred or something occurred for this session ID. That kind of log we can put over here. Okay. And next, after getting connection the closed, actually we can print something like connection closed on session and with whatever will be the status for this one. Okay, something like this. Okay, so session dot get ID and this close status. From here we can get the like we can get the details like status of the connection. Okay. So this is overall the things that means handler implementation is done now. So next things actually basically what we are going to do over here, we just need to start this application, and then we will see that how this application basically we can check from the postman. That also I will show you. Okay, so let me, okay, it's save this one. Okay. So now if I start this application, so let me start this applications from over here. It will not take much time. So after starting getting the configuration problem, bin method post must be private or final. Okay, it should be public actually. It's it should be public. Okay, so let me restart this application again. It will start now. Yeah, it's started now in 880 port. So from the port 880 port you can check. Okay, so here like let me clear this one. Okay, so okay, so now as I can we can see for the if it is a like HTTP post or something, so for HTTP basically we can define in this way, right? Like HTTP over here, and then HTTP, then colon, then slash, then localhost 880 API and whatever the API details over here, right? In this way we can send the data. But in case of the WebSocket, basically the syntax will be WS WebSocket colon slash localhost 880 and then the post. So post will be the like URL over here, correct? So the URL will be the post, and as I mentioned here, the WS, this is the syntax for this one. So now first of all we need to connect. Okay, so as you can see the connection is done now. So from the over here you can see the connection successful for this session ID, right? So this message actually coming from over here, this handler connection established on this session ID, right? Now if we need to send some messages over here like test post, okay, testing something. So now if we click the send, so you can see we are sending the test, right? First of all, it's connected, already done. Then test, processing started for this session, processing completed for this session. Correct? So these are the messages we are getting from over here. From here we can also get the details. Okay, and this is coming from post details. Okay, here, so we don't need this plus over here, we just need this one. Okay, so now suppose if I close this one, so we can see it's disconnected, right? Means from any of them, if it is disconnected, then it will only get disconnected, right? Means from here we have just forcefully this service basically ends, so that's why it's got disconnected. Now if I again restarted this one, so let's see, again we need to connect basically. So because it's a restarted, now clear this message from over here. So once it will started now, and then if I clicked in the connect buttons, it will got connected. Now again if I send this one, so you will get, see that connection done. Then we are sending this one, and from the server we are getting these messages back, right? Like processing started for this session, processing completed for this session. Now again if I send this one, so again you can see it's not connected, like a connection already over there. It just only process the details and give me the response back, test data. Okay, again if I send this one, so you will get the data over here, and from the over here also you can get the details over here. Okay, like post details, this messages payload actually it is coming. So now suppose if I disconnect from over here also, we can see it's disconnected, and here also we can see the connection getting closed, connection closed on this session ID, right, with status 100. So this is the basically like things that we can how we are going to configure this WebSocket in Spring Boot applications. This is a very easy applications. I will push this code into the GitHub and share the link in the description section of my tutorial. I hope it's clear like how you're going to configure this one, how this WebSocket basically works, and how it is different from the HTTP protocol. Okay. If you guys have anything, please do let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more tech related content. See you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.